Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Yesterday, I bought these photos and shared with you on the screen what these spy photos were out of Michigan, where the technical center is. And then I got an email today with these photos. Yeah, these new photos of the Tundra without the camouflage, a little blurry, but it looks like that is like that, and like this in this video, I'm going to show you what those two things look like. So hey, let's get started on these photos. And if first time here, welcome. On this channel, you can find truck and SUV news, reviews, interesting stuff I do. Hit subscribe, stick around. It's a good time. I'm going to stop talking. Let's get to these photos. Okay, let's talk about what these photos are. So on the right, I have spy photos that I bought that was shot outside of Michigan, outside Tech Center. On the left, I have, these are computer-generated images. I've talked to Toyota a little bit about this behind the scenes. No official comment from Toyota, but I did ask him some questions about these. So these computer-generated images were from a dealer meeting, and so it just was on digital on the screen, and some Yahoo from a dealership had to pull out his phone and take photos of this stuff. That's kind of how things happen. These dealers get excited, and they want to take photos of it, and they don't always understand the plan, the overall big plan. But anyways, we got the photos. So they're a little blurry, but I'm going to kind of blow it up as best I can. You can, yeah, it's still a little blurry. Maybe a little bit smaller would make a little more sense. But let me try my best to put these on the screen so you kind of see them. So I mean, we can kind of see some semblances here. So some semblances, differences, and kind of the same stuff. So we can see like this daytime running light here, kind of looking like, and the headlights up in here. And then this has the lights down there as well. So that may be a fog light situation. It is interesting to have these like LED light bar, and you can see where Toyota is spelled out. So that's got to be TRD Pro. TRD Pro is the one that has the Toyota spelled out in the grille. This looks like it's got regular size mirrors, and you can see with the spy photos I have like the Dodge Ram looking mirrors, or the Ram mirrors, I should say more accurately as a professional journalist. As we come over here, we can kind of see the lights a little more signature lights coming along there. This reminds me of more what, actually now I remember what those lights remind me of. I was editing Jill's video here of a Hyundai Sonata. Now this is on our car channel, Jill Simonello, and you see those lighting signature there, and that's what it kind of reminds me of over here. Same idea, the light kind of goes back up the top there, and so I think it's a pretty interesting idea for that light going up that way. I don't know if it makes production, but it's a fun thing that they kind of play around with. So, you know, instead of being here like on a Tundra where it's kind of, it ends there, this would slide up more along the side there. And I want to say this is more like a Chevy Tahoe as well. Well, I guess not Chevy Tahoe. They have that little cutout there. But, you know, definitely the designers are playing with these lights. I mean, they're making a lot of changes in these lights. You can see the differences there. You see that light bar kind of shining out there. But, yeah, and I don't know if this is a light bar or if it's a fog lamp situation. It's kind of a weird placement. Come around the back on this generation, computer-generated images. You can see the rear of this has the three lights similar to Raptor, but usually those are on the front, kind of interesting on the back. The tail lamps, you can see where they kind of come around the sides as well. Now, again, this is just a lot of early design, and they usually play with this stuff quite a bit. But you can see a little light there on the side past the wheel well, and it looks like that's the chisel lamp on the top where the brake light's up there as well. Not really seeing a whole lot in this computer-generated image as far as the rear, whether that's a tailgate or a special tailgate or like a side step or something like that. I'd like to see Toyota do like a bumper step in here. But again, this guy was at the dealer meeting, quickly grabbed his phone, snapped a few images, and we can kind of see how that works. But see those lights? They could go along the side a little bit too. I don't know if we could around the side. Yeah, it's almost like the side of the hood. So maybe like right here where you see the Tundra. So that light would go along the fender there and kind of keep going around. I don't know really there's any benefit to that, but that would kind of be that look. I would see it go along the fender a little bit more futuristic look. And so when we look at this over here, these spy photos, and now these spy photos, I can make these bigger because I bought these. But as we come around, we can kind of see a little bit right in here. You can kind of see where you can see that fender's got a little bit of a. It looks like it maybe like has been stamped a little bit that way, or you know, you can see that light coming like that. You can see a little light down here a little bit, right? So maybe that light goes back a little bit. Maybe they're not showing that. And then those lights were right in here, and you can see where it's kind of camouflaged right here and right there. And those were like those fog lamps. Now, what are these? That'd be the question. Maybe these are more LEDs, rigid LED lights there with the light bar on TRD Pro models, and then this would be your fog lamps down here. But you can see that shape, that cut shape, when you go back to the computer-generated ones, and when you go back to this, they don't have these on, but you can see that kind of weird design they have set up there. So you can see probably the same idea of those. And then, you know, like I said, if you haven't seen these spy photos, there's another video I did on these. I'll just kind of flip through them real fast. But panoramic moonroof, I maybe missed that today. Retractable steps, people are pointing out that in the comments. It's really hard to see everything and get it all right the first time. But oh, and they're driving around in Michigan. That's why it's Ford Drive, and this is he's turning. So, and the more I look at this, the more I think maybe it's extended cab. You know, just the size. I don't know. These doors are weird. You know, usually the Crew Max doors are really big. So maybe it's a little bit different shape. Maybe they make the extended cab a little bit bigger, and this looks like a 5.5 foot bed. So maybe this is a short bed there in the extended cab. But you kind of come around the side. You got the exhaust that's moved over. Now they can move that back over to places. This is weird down here. This cut line here is kind of weird to me. And then the tailgate on the back. Can't see anything because they're doing a lot of street sweepers to kind of keep eyeballs away from the rear suspension. So there's more look at that front. So, you know, you definitely can see that light, and then you maybe see that could be that extra light coming down over here. And then maybe that bulge right there, maybe that light goes back a little bit. Maybe there's that little bulge thing. Maybe it's not quite seamless in the sheet metal quite yet. And then you can see, you know, this block here would probably be a front radar or front adaptive cruise kind of block, and then they spell out Toyota and put that behind there on the TRD Pro. It looks like something's different in suspension. The suspension just looks a little bit different to me in the front end. I can't quite make out exactly what I want to say about that, but just a little different there. Maybe it's too clean. Maybe all the Tundras I've seen are too dirty. But then you can see that same lighting idea that the CGI images brought out was the same kind of shape, that same kind of cut shape there at that front end. Definitely makes it look a little bit futuristic in my view, especially this image here. You can see that kind of cut shape. Now, again, don't know if these make it to the marketplace. I mean, this is early computer-generated image, so they may cut that stuff out eventually, but it's just kind of an interesting look. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this. All right, there you go. There are the photos of the computer-generated photos from a dealer meeting. And the spy photos I bought. Now I buy those. That's how spy photos work. And so we can kind of see similar body lines, similar lights, similar configurations of lights. I mean, I think we're pretty close. That's what the exterior design is of the new Tundra. Now, there are talking the new Tundra is going to have different changes in the rear, maybe some coilover, 5-link suspension situation going on there for better ride quality. There's conversation about a hybrid 3.5-liter twin turbo V6, maybe 455 horsepower, some of that time in that range. The Ford F-150 has 570 horsepower in its hybrid, so something, or 570 foot-pounds of torque, I should say. There's conversation about the V8 going away. I don't know if I really buy that one. Conversation about panoramic moonroof. Conversation about some retractable side steps as well. There's a lot of stuff going on that could possibly come out with this. There was a lot of conversations on the spy photos about the rear window, whether that's going to go away or not. This looks like a double cab the more I look at it, so maybe the crew cab will still keep the rear window that rolls down the whole way. So there's definitely some changes going on in the Tundra. I'm hearing it'll be next spring will be an unveil. Be on dealer lots next fall. I'm sure pricing will probably be pretty similar, although the higher trim levels will have a little more technology. Like they're talking a new 12-inch navigation tablet inside as well. You didn't check my video out yesterday. You can kind of see where it's at a little bit as they're driving around. It's not so clear. So you're looking at some changes there. I mean, some big changes coming in the Tundra, make it a little more competitive. And if you didn't know, also, Tacoma production is moving to Mexico, which means the San Antonio plant will now have more capacity to build a Tundra or Sequoia, or they bring the Sequoia down and build them both there. I mean, a lot of changes going on there with Toyota. If they do expand that plant in San Antonio, it'll be the first time in a decade that they won't have capacity issues. And they could be more competitive. They could offer a lot more variety and offer a lot more trucks and build up to capacity. You know, Toyota sells basically as many as they can build. But what if they could build more? What if they could build more TRD Pros? What if they could build more bigger trucks? I don't know. There's a lot of speculation going on. Make sure you, like I said, hit subscribe, stick around this channel. I have more news for you as I get it. I will definitely be either at the unveil or live at the reveal or the day after reveal. And I will be driving a new Tundra before, well, hits dealer lots. I'm going to make sure whatever got to happen here in the COVID situation, I will make that happen. So, hey, for more pickup truck and SUV kind of news and cool stuff, check out the video out over here. It's a good time. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.